Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're live from AWS reInvent, the biggest, baddest, and overall best party in Las Vegas with about 40,000 friends. We're getting to the end of this stream, right?
Yeah,
and
I know.
well,
it's been a whirlwind,
right? It's been a long week, and well, we've got one of the best topics to send you away here.
A very
We're
fun
talking
topic.
to the Alexa guys. So
Yeah.
I'm Julian, this is Tara over there. Everybody knows Tara.
Don't
Please
hate 'cause I'm
introduce
growing.
yourself,
Yep.
Sure.
guys.
I'm Jeff Blankenberg. I'm one of the evangelists on the Alexa team.
And my name is Memo Doring. I'm another evangelist on the Alexa team.
There's a lot of evangelists on this stage.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
I
power.
told
a lot
you,
of-
we know
just FYI,
the
if you're
best
not familiar
session.
with what evangelists are, we can't save your soul, so don't,
Nope.
we're not asking for donations or holy water, so you're good.
Well, I'll
Trust
take
me.
Oh, I
donations.
like the
I'll take
idea.
donations.
See,
We're
Wrong
limited to just 4
notice I
evangelists
said
at
I
once,
wasn't.
right?
Notice I said I wasn't. Okay, but let's talk about Alexa. Let's get into Alexa. And you guys have a bunch of things going on. Kind of shocked me and blew me away with all the stuff we have going on with Alexa. Tell us about it. Everybody wants to know about it. Every time I say Alexa, I know people's Alexa are going, echoes are going off. So I'm sorry, but Alexa. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
now's
sorry.
the time to hit mute.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
guys.
apologies because we're going to trigger every single device. So the big one for us is monetization. We've had a program where we've been paying developers that have really engaging skills for a few months, and it's been really popular. We also had a program where we like to subsidize Alexa skill developers on their AWS consumption. So there's an easy way to get $100 a month in AWS credit, so you can go play around with all those new cool services that are coming out. But now we've announced that we're going to do even more. So we're going to integrate into Amazon Pay, so you can have a really easy integration to just do transactions, and you can use those or that Amazon Pay transaction to do either subscriptions or one-time purchases on your skills. So that means we're really opening it up to monetize your skill however you want.
So that means me too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want
Guys,
to make sure.
you can make money now. So we
Yeah.
have about 25,000 skills, right, today?
Yeah.
Just over
That's what-
25,000.
Yeah.
Just about? Okay,
Yeah.
so, man, I can see a large increase now that you have monetization.
Exactly. So what we want is to capture all that developer enthusiasm that's out there and give them another reason. Like voice already in itself is incredible,
Yeah.
but if you can say, oh, now I'm going to make a living out of making voice enabled experiences, that is my goal, right? Like that is what I want. That's a headline for me in this upcoming year.
And of course, when you make my voice, the voice model for Southern people to have, be able to talk Southern on the Alexa, then all will be well.
That's
what
a-
else? What else you like?
That's separate from English, right? Southern is a variation, or is it?
No, it is a calming type of dialect that the world needs worldwide over. That's what
Yeah,
that
we
is.
need
You're
a
right.
Tara voice. I
Right.
want a
Let-
Tara
and
voice.
for all my Southerners, they know, bless all of their
Have we
hearts.
talked to
You guys know what
Polly
that
about
means.
making a Terra voice? We could.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
So what else are you guys launching?
Another one of the big things is notifications. So a lot of people have been asking us, how do I get my Alexa skill to let a user know when something's happened? Right now, the way it's set up, in order for you to be able to get some information from Alexa, you have to speak to the device first, and then you get a response back. And with notifications now, I'm going to use the example of ordering a pizza. There's times when you order a pizza, there's several different things that happen, right? The pizza goes in the oven, pizza's on its way to your house. In those kinds of situations, I don't want to check in occasionally and ask Alexa what's going on. I want Alexa to tell me when that thing has happened. And so what will happen is you'll hear a sound on your device, and it will light up on top in a different color. And at that point, you can say, Alexa, what's going on? She can say, oh, your pizza's on the way. But you don't have to be constantly polling like we do with a lot of web applications and other
Yeah.
things. There's no polling involved. You'll just get that push notification and find out exactly what's going on.
That'd be cool. So Alexa can stop telling me just about all the packages that I need to stop clicking and pointing on Amazon,
Right.
and about other stuff that's going on. That's really cool.
But that's a good example, right? Today you can see that in action. If you have an Alexa-enabled device and you shop on Amazon.com, you'll see that light shining,
Yeah.
and you can ask her for your notifications, and it'll let you know
Yep.
this shipped or you got this delivered, which is really handy when you're
Right.
out of town like I am.
Another
like this whole
example,
week.
another example of those notifications is my daughter will sit up in her bedroom, and instead of coming downstairs to get food or, I don't know, ask me a question, she'll just send me a message across Alexa, and I will, on my device, it'll light up and say, hey, you have a message from Riley.
Ah,
And
nice.
then I have to be like, really? You want me to bring you a bagel?
Like you're just upstairs, had the millennial moment.
13-year-olds are the best.
Voice-enabled elastic bagel service.
Right.
Yes.
Also known
Make
as,
it happen.
also known
Everybody's
as Jeff.
wondering where, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's the acronym, right? JEFF is somehow
Right.
right.
So
Perfect.
I know you're about to announce one of the ones that I'm really geeking out about, and I can't wait to
Yeah, there was a big thing.
There's a
right?
big one
here
that
it
I know
comes.
you're about to
So
tell us about.
I don't know what you're
Brad.
talking about.
Hold on, we're gonna have this technical difficulties as I jump off and beat him up. Tell them
No
what it
violence.
is.
Come on, we're all peaceful people here.
So says the Parisianer, but go ahead.
Well, I've got a couple things I want to talk about, but I think you're talking about speaker ID.
I am talking
All
about
right.
speaker ID.
All right, so Speaker ID, if you guys haven't heard about this already, it's available in some of our first-party experiences. Imagine you have a device set up at home, and it's your account, and your spouse comes in the room, and they ask to play Pandora. Well, right now, it just spins up whatever Pandora station was played last. Well, if you go through the voice profiling that's available in the Alexa app, when my wife goes into the kitchen now and asks for Pandora, it plays the music she last listened to, versus when I ask for Pandora, it plays the music that I last listened to, because it recognizes our individual voices, even though it's all still just living on my account. So that same idea we now have in developer preview. You can go and sign up for that at alexa.design/voice profile. But the idea there is that you'll be able to build that same kind of functionality into your skills, so you can recognize the speaker, which gives you a lot of power when you think about identifying and acting with those users.
So is there an API for that? I mean, kind of walk me through the workflow. You know, we're all geeks, so I want to know the
Sure.
nitty gritty. What's the workflow for that? What are the APIs that I would call to now differentiate between my voice and someone else's?
Well, it's actually pretty nice how this works. So the way it's set up, it's you actually receive in the payload from Alexa, you get a JSON file that comes into your code.
Yep.
In that JSON file, you have a user ID today, which indicates who the user is, the account owner.
Right.
But you will also have a speaker ID, which indicates the identity of the speaker, so it may or may not be the same person as the user.
Nice.
Make sense?
So yeah,
Yeah.
I got a couple of questions here. So the first one is, do you have to train? How do you
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
So, go
register your
So
voice?
You have to train the model on your voice print, right, or your voice profile, and you can go through that on any Alexa device, and it'll have you repeat some sentences to get a good feel for how you speak.
Okay.
And once you've done that, it'll be available today for a bunch of first-party experiences, but in the near future, it'll be available through all third-party experiences as well. So it's something that's going to be very, very powerful. And we've definitely heard the community ask about both notifications and this type of capability. Jeff and I are on the road all the time and going to hackathons and attending events. So we hear that, and we just wanted the community to know, like, A, we hear you. B, we're working on the features you want. We're
Right.
not just out there doing whatever we're thinking of. Like, we take it back to the product team, and we're your voice in there saying, like, hey, this is the cool thing that everyone out there wants.
Exactly.
And
How-
yeah,
what-
so,
go
second
ahead,
question,
yeah.
sorry, Tara,
Uh-huh.
is how strong a credential is this? So you mentioned the case where I want to play my music. So if I'm speaking, then don't play R&B, play heavy metal, right? But could I use this speaker ID for authentication? Actually, if I want, let's say I want to check my bank balance.
Yeah.
Is that strong enough, or is that a bad idea?
And that's the type of detail that we're going to need to like roll out the actual API, well, the whole infrastructure out and test it out in production before we can really talk about what level of security we're recommending users use it for. Obviously, there's going to be a combination where if you're doing something really, really secure, you want to have your voice print and maybe a one-time password and
Sure.
Two-factor auth, something like
you
that.
layer that up, and suddenly it becomes like this really strong thing. But again, since it's in developer preview, it's kind of hard
Sure.
to talk about the nitty-gritty specifics. But
Right.
all
Those
that
will be coming
information will be
soon.
available.
So someone asked me about accuracy, and I know this is developer preview, but what are you guys targeting for accuracy on the speaker identification, the speaker footprint, I'll call it?
Let's say what we're aiming for is that it'll recognize me as myself, even though I've been in Vegas speaking non-stop for 4 days, and my voice is like 2 octaves lower now. It should still be able to say, oh, that's Memo, and
Okay.
not some other dude. Or like if you're out drinking a little too late, it shouldn't be a problem the next morning to
Right.
unlock your door. Or
But on the same token, it shouldn't be easy for my son to come in and try and fake my voice.
Right.
Right. It should be specific enough that it's pretty hard to sound like someone else.
Okay.
And again, those are all our goals, and once we roll it out in production and it's all public, we will be able to make like white papers public and so on and so forth that'll detail all of these levels of accuracy and so forth.
Excellent, excellent.
Another question we get all the time is, why is it so difficult to bring Alexa to my country?
Oh.
Right, with my language.
Yeah,
So
and
careful here, because
we've got the South, and we've got Paris over here,
come on,
and,
don't be nasty to me either.
and Ohio, and I'm Mexican, right? So
Right.
I have a vested interest in Spanish being available, but it's surprisingly hard for like to model a language.
Yeah.
Half of the time when you're thinking about language at the level we are, you come out the conclusion like, I don't even know how we actually communicate. Like, I don't know how humans understand each other, because this stuff is very, very hard.
Yeah.
And there's all this extra information that's happening as we speak. So we have a bunch of developers and scientists working on this. Our goal as a company, as a group, is to have Alexa everywhere where Amazon is, which is a bunch of different countries and a bunch of different languages, and we're working towards that. We are now in Germany, the UK, India. We've announced Canada recently. We just announced Australia.
And New Zealand.
And New Zealand, yes. And obviously the US.
I'm so jealous right now.
Yeah, obviously the US and Japan. We're missing Japan. So
Yeah.
it's growing. Like it's way different than when we started doing this, when we were just like, it's just in the US. So we're growing by leaps and bounds. I know it feels like it's just a handful of languages, but it's not that easy, and we want to get the accuracy really, really high. We care a lot about the experience of saying something to Alexa, getting understood, and having something magical happen, right?
Yeah.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
makes
if it
sense.
were easy, we still want to make sure that it's perfect every time we roll it out to a new language, a new dialect, whatever it might be. So that's really the big focus of this.
For example, in our German model, we also cover Austria. So we try to make it as broad as we could, but it's German is complex enough that when we've traveled to Germany, I've been in Munich and people are like, it understands us, but we'll understand those crazy people in Berlin. And we're like, yeah, we took all of that into account, accents and regionality and all that.
So dialects, when you're building your voice model, you definitely consider the dialects of the region that you're working with.
Absolutely,
Correct.
and it's actually interesting when you build a skill and you set your skill to be in a different geography. When Alexa talks to you, she'll speak to you with a British accent or an Indian accent or in Japanese, and each one of those things is very, very different.
Right.
So it's not only that they have to be able to understand the speaker, but they also communicate back to the speaker in a way that they expect to be spoken to.
And I think that's fantastic, and I will volunteer to do the Southern one.
And
We have a question on Twitch from Brian Tarbox. What about skill promotion? Is
So-
that something that's on the radar?
yeah, in general, we want to make our skill builders the most successful we can. So we have some feature or abilities today to promote skills. So we feature all those skills. We have newsletters, and we have our special part of the Amazon.com experience, which is /skills, and they're all there, and we try to have them by tagged properly, right? So if it's Halloween, something that's spooky, or now with the holidays incoming, something around Santa Claus, and we want to build up on that. We want to shine more light around all our developers, right?
All right, so hang in there, guys. You know,
So we have another question that's kind of related to, of course, I know you get this, the whole global thing, he asked it, but we have another question related to, I know we're in preview, so remember guys, they're in preview for these things. What are your target regions at GA? Do you have them established yet, or?
So the goal is always to have parity across our regions, but obviously day zero, it's hard to guarantee that.
Right.
We'll try to start in the regions that we're already available in. The devices are ready to be shipped in, and we'll roll out from there.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, we only got a few minutes left, I think, right?
Right.
So anything else you guys would like to say?
I have one more thing.
Any nasty questions we forgot to ask?
If there's more questions, I'd love to answer them, but we do have one more thing we want to talk about, which is Alexa gadgets. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to see this yet.
That's right, okay.
But if you guys have ever wanted to be on a game show and have the button to hit and be able to play like an interactive game, this is a new thing that we just rolled out, and we're releasing our own device called Echo Buttons, which is an Alexa gadget, and they're shipping on December 19th. You can pre-order them right now on Amazon. But the idea is it's a button that lights up, it has LEDs in it, and you can build skills that consume this. So you can build one that when I tap on the button, it changes colors, or interacts with your skill and plays sounds, things like that. But there are skills that are coming out that you'll be able to tap the button to play it like a game show and do things like that. It's a very, very cool add-on to what you're doing with skills.
One of the ones we announced that's going to come right at launch is Trivial Pursuit. So you can see how it could be like a cool game to play with your friends, and you don't need to roll out a whole board game or whatever. It's couple of buttons.
It's funny, that's the exact scenario when you said it, I thought about it. I was like, oh, game day at people's houses. Now you have this skill. Excellent.
Right, but one idea I really want to try out is you ever played the game Simon?
Yeah.
Right, with the different colors?
Yeah.
You don't actually remember the colors, you remember the position, right? So the top and then left and right. But what if the colors moved around and you had to remember red and then yellow and then blue, but it's different every time?
Why are you trying to make things different?
Oh, it would be so fun. That's going to be my first project, is try to knock something like that out.
So we're excited to see what Jeff will build, but we're even more excited to see what everyone out there will build.
Absolutely.
So before we get off, then you need to tell them how they get started, right? I mean, how you guys
Very easy. Everything you want to find is on alexa.design, and that'll point you to everything else. We also had Cami helping us out on the chat, and she was sharing a bunch of links out there. She'll do that again if you need that. So she's a mod there on the chat if you need any more specific links.
And this includes the developer preview.
Everything.
It's
Developer
everything.
previews, how to sign up
Yep.
for those, how to get started, and information about the buttons. You can pre-order those on Amazon.com, obviously.
Yep, of course, yeah.
Yep.
All right,
we're done.
We're done.
This is we've got only one more session to go.
One
right?
more.
Randall's here.
And Randall
Tara's
is here. And
it's going to be the recap, right?
The recap,
and,
yep.
well, we're done, and we have the reInvent party tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to
So
be
for
one
those
hell
of
of
you
a
guys
party.
that
Replay.
are not going to be there, we're sorry. Maybe I can get one of these guys to stream little sections of it so you can feel like you're part of it with us. But we've enjoyed you guys in reInvent, and please hold on for the last recap session. It will be fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. This
Thank
is great.
you for giving us this amazing
pleasure.
No,
point.
excellent.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you, guys.
guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.